Hi, I'm Stephen Dunifer with Free Radio Berkeley. Today we're going to build a small transmitter and some other equipment to start a free radio community station. And here we go upstairs to start the process. All right, we're now back up here in the shop where everything happens in terms of the transmitters and technology. The very basic item that one will need for a small low-power FM free radio broadcast station is a transmitter. At Free Radio Berkeley, we have over the last 15 years been designing and developing a complete line of low power transmitters and other related equipment that help one set up a small station. And I have in front of me some of the basic components. In this case, what we have is a 10 watt transmitter. So we provide these in a variety of forms. You can buy an already assembled transmitter, which is in this case, you're looking at a 10 watt transmitter. This is capable of covering a range of maybe up to 3 or 4 mile radius. Or as a kit where you receive the actual circuit board, I have in my hand, along with all the parts that are necessary to put this unit together. We can provide complete instructions and other support material for doing this, and you'll find a lot more detail about this on our website, where you can download documents, manuals, and other tutorials. All right, what I have here in front of me is a 10 watt PLL transmitter that's been fully assembled. PLL stands for phase lock loop controller. What this means is that there's a particular circuit pointing right here which actually controls the frequency and keeps it exactly on frequency, the frequency that's been programmed by these series of switches called a dip switch, your 8-position dip switch, which is read by a microcontroller chip here. It reads this data, transmits it over to this chip, basically programs it for the specific frequency that's been set here. Then this PLL controller sends a control voltage through this area through a filtering circuit back over to the voltage controlled oscillator, which actually produces the FM broadcast frequency that you will be transmitting on. This PLL constantly monitors the frequency from the oscillator and correcting it as necessary with this correction voltage is going through. That's why it's a loop here. In other words, it's looping all the way around from here over to the controller, then back over to the input of the of the oscillator. The oscillator is controlled by a voltage, and that's how it's kept on frequency. The audio comes in at this point. This is your audio input from a standard RCA connector. Since the audio signal itself is a varying voltage, the varying voltage of the audio material will cause the oscillator to shift in frequency slightly one way or the other. That produces your actual FM signal, frequency modulation. That's how we impart information to this carrier frequency or the broadcast frequency that you've selected. Since the signal of the oscillator itself is very low, it is further amplified through a small amplifier here, through some bit of circuitry, then finally goes to an output transistor, which boosts the power to the output level of 10 to 15 watts, fed through this coaxial cable to the output connector, which goes to your antenna. And then operating voltage is fed to this point from these connectors. It's a standard voltage of 13.8 volts, the type of voltage you would have in a car battery or a car electrical system. We have a fuse and then just a switch. This unit is supplied either assembled or as a kit of parts with a circuit board and all the components required to assemble it. Assembly requires basic electronic skills, being able to solder properly, being able to construct things in a thorough manner, and attention to detail. Now that we have the transmitter fully assembled and ready to go, in my hands here, we can now proceed on to the antenna. In this case, it's a dipole antenna, and these kits, along with all the other kits, are fabricated here at our shop in Oakland, California. The antenna is right here. This is called a dipole antenna. We can provide this to you fully assembled and tuned to a frequency that you specify, or you may also purchase as a kit, which is actually composed mostly of items that you would find at a hardware store, PVC pipe fittings, aluminum tubing, cut to length, and the other components being a couple clamps, a bracket, a connector, and a few screws. So that basically is everything that goes into making up this dipole antenna, either, as again I said, either assembled or as a kit, which we can provide to you. Anyway, proceeding on to a few details regarding this dipole antenna. The dipole antenna is your basic fundamental antenna used for broadcasting. It comes in various forms and configurations, but this is your most basic form. The length of this element, or actually both elements, the length of the elements is a function of the frequency. The lower the frequency, the longer the element length. The higher the frequency, the shorter the element length. So basically we adjust the length of this total length here to tune it to a specific frequency that's been chosen. All right. Now that we have our transmitter, our antenna, you will need a few other items to complete your broadcast station. The first is the power supply, which is used to convert AC voltage to the required DC voltage by the transmitter. It's the standard sort of desk type power supply that we provide with the transmitters. And then for your audio input, you require line level input. In this case, you can use a mixer of your choice. Output of your mixer goes then to a compressor limiter. This is to keep your signal from over-modulating, over-driving the transmitter and producing distortion and bleeding into the other channels. So this is an inexpensive compressor limiter that sets your audio level so it does not exceed a preset point. So the output from your compressor limiter goes to the input of the transmitter, and it's fed, of course, from the mixer. A lot of these functions could actually be done on a computer with the right combination of hardware and software if you want to keep it low budget. We provide, as I said, all the basic equipment kits that you need to set up a small community FM free radio station, and it's really a very very straightforward process of the transmitter connecting to the antenna via cable. The antenna is up outside on a roof, and then your audio is then fed to the transmitter, and that's your station. You can make it as complex or as simple as you want, and then invite you to come to our website for all the details, information on how to set it up, and we will see you on the airwaves and seize them back from the corporations.